everyone, I am back today with another layout using my How to Kill a Kit for August. Off camera before, I think I just snorted into my microphone. If so, I apologize. Off camera before I started filming, I created this mixed media background. I'm hoping the light is kind of catching how shimmery it is. If you enjoy mixed media and you want to learn some new techniques or some new ways to add it to your layout, then you'll be very interested to know that the step-by-step directions on how to create a background like this one will be part of my newest class, which is going to be called Mixed Media Backgrounds Volume 1. And I will show you step by step how to create this background along with 5 other mixed media backgrounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to rough up the edge of this blue paper with my Distress little tooly thingy, and I'm going to go ahead and get to work creating some layers for this layout. I'm scrapbooking an older photo of my nephew that I've had hanging around my scrap room for a while. It's quite possible that I've even scrapbooked this photo somewhere else, but I'm trying to get some of these photos that are kind of just hanging around my scrap room. They're photos I took out of frames from different part of my house and things like that, so I just want to get them into an album, whether I've scrapbooked them before or not. So what I did was I roughed up the edge of the paper with that blue paper with my Making Memories Distress tool, and then I even went ahead with my finger and kind of bent it up a bit to create some texture and some interest. And then I'm going to use this yellow pattern I have set aside, and I'm going to put just a little bit of a border down the side that I have just lifted up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to map my photo onto this 6x8 sheet of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and use the whole sheet to map my photo pretty much. I think I take a little off the edges. So let's talk about mixed media for a little bit. For me, mixed media is super fun. I love to get messy and create backgrounds for my pages, but the end result, I don't like it to look messy. So I'm not a smooshing girl. I don't use the packaging technique. I don't mind splatters, but I really enjoy more things that are stencils or watercolors or stamping, things like that. So when I create mixed media backgrounds, they are often like this where they look painterly, but there's lots of layers to them and there's a little bit of depth to them, and it's not a typical kind of a look. So if that interests you, then I will be posting more information about my class as this month continues on. So I'm just going to go ahead here, get my photo down. I decided to put a little bit of that yellow paper behind the 6x8 paper pad, and then I'm going to offset it just a little bit, which is going to allow me to create. I love the way my nephew's kind of looking off in the distance, so I made it a little bit crooked. I have not done a voiceover in probably a week, so I'm feeling very, very rusty. I have been stitching like a crazy person, and that layout will be coming up this week, but I have not been voiceovering videos, and actually this one was to go up today, and I'm a little bit late putting it up and getting it up to you because my house is currently in a state of renovation. We are renovating and working on my kitchen, and I am also renovating and working on my attic to turn it into a little bit of like kind of an efficiency apartment for my sister, who is going to rent it from us when it's all finished. So I'm just going to continue on here. I'm using the Webster's Pages letter stickers that are part of my How to Kill a Kit for this week. I went with the yellow because that background has some beautiful yellow gold tones to it, as well as the blue that you can see. That's very obvious. Then it has some sparkling yellow tones, and so I want to pull in some of the gold and yellow into my layout so it's not just on the background. So from my kit, I have pulled out a lot of the tones of blue and yellow, a little aqua and a little green. I have some stickers and some die cuts, And not all of these make it onto my layout, but a lot of them do. I'm going to create a little bit of a cluster down there where my title is. Sorry about that. Yeah, construction at my house, and my son is banging more. So much fun, y'all. So much fun. Okay, so I'm adding lots of little die cut pieces, and I'm just going to create 3 clusters. One above my photo, one below my photo, and one off to the left and to the bottom. And then I'm just going to stick everything down using some pop dots and some dimensional adhesive, things like that. This is a really easy layout design. This is like a go-to design for me. This is something I do quite often, just with creating like an L-shaped layout, and this is an easy one. I didn't. Sometimes the nice thing about having a kit like this that you want to kill is that you can easily put together a layout and have lots of layers. This is one that took me like 45 minutes from start to finish, so that's really good. Not including the background. The background took longer than that, of course, but anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start to stick all of these elements down on my page. So I decided I was going to play with these rub-ons, see how they work. And here's what I discovered. So the rub-ons are no longer attached to the acetate backing piece. They are now attached, well, no, they're no longer attached to the acetate. So normally rub-ons are attached to the front clear plastic part, right? They're not attached there anymore. They're now completely separated from the plastic piece and are instead attached to the backer sheet. So, what I ended up doing was I ended up pulling the clear off, the front of the clear piece off, and then fussy cutting the butterflies from where they were attached on the backer sheet. Good thing I like fussy cutting. But I mean, they're still kind of usable, and I did put quite a few on this layout, so I had to apply them with wet glue because that backer sheet is almost like a wax paper. I'm not even quite sure how the rub-ons ended up being stuck so well to that backer sheet. But anyway, so my thought process for these rub-ons is that I'll use as many of them as I want to use while I work through this kit. But when the month is over and I put this kit and put it back into my stash, the rub-ons are just going to go in the garbage because they just don't last. And so, yeah, I don't know. I very much don't think that I will be buying rub-ons anymore. I used to love them when Basic Grey would make them. In fact, I still have Basic Grey rub-ons that still work. And that work really well from like 2008. So I don't understand why these are like so bad. They're not that old. But yeah, they're done. So that's the plan with the rub-ons. I'm going to use as many of them as I can as I finish out this kit, and then bye-bye. But I did get quite a few on here. I think I put 5 or 6 butterflies on this page, which is good. So that's my last butterfly, and that's going to complete this layout. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video for today. I'd love to hear your comments or thoughts on my new class that's coming up. If you have any suggestions or things you'd specifically like me to see, to teach, or to do during the class, it's still in production, so I can add a couple things to it if needed or if it's desired. Please, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button or give me a thumbs up. I always love to hear your comments. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.